Winter, with its serene beauty and silent nights, often brings us peace. But beneath the blanket of snow there are stories, dark, unsettling and disturbingly real. In today's video we're delving into 3 true winter horror stories that will make you think twice about the cold season. So grab a blanket, sit close, and let's dive into the darkness. But first, don't forget to like, subscribe and hit the notification bell for more chilling tales every week. Our first story takes place in the remote woods of Montana, where a group of friends decided to rent a cabin for a winter getaway. The group consisted of Sarah, her boyfriend Mike, and their friends Jenna and Tom. It was meant to be a relaxing weekend filled with board games, hot cocoa and snowball fights. But what they encountered was far from what they had planned. The first night went smoothly. The friends cooked dinner, laughed by the fireplace, and enjoyed the isolation. But as the second night fell, things took a turn. Around midnight, Jenna woke up to the sound of crunching snow outside her window. She brushed it off as an animal and went back to sleep. The next morning they found a set of footprints circling the cabin. What was unsettling was that the tracks didn't lead to or from anywhere, just endless loops around the property. Trying to stay calm, Mike suggested it was a prank, maybe from a local. But by nightfall the situation escalated. This time they all heard the noises, footsteps crunching in the snow, moving closer and closer to the cabin. Sarah looked out the window but saw nothing. Suddenly a loud bang echoed through the house, as if someone had thrown something heavy against the door. The group huddled together, trying to rationalize what was happening. But when Tom suggested they check the perimeter, everyone hesitated. Eventually, Mike and Tom grabbed flashlights and stepped outside. What they found froze them in their tracks. A series of strange symbols carved into the snow around the cabin. They rushed back inside and locked the doors. The following morning they packed up and left, cutting their trip short. Later, Sarah tried to research the symbols they'd seen, but couldn't find any conclusive answers. To this day, none of them know who or what was outside their cabin that winter night. Our second story is about a long-haul trucker named Daniel. He was accustomed to driving in harsh winter conditions, but one icy night on a deserted road in Alaska left him shaken forever. Daniel was driving his rig down a desolate stretch of highway when he noticed a car pulled over on the side of the road. Its hazard lights were flashing, and he could see a woman standing outside, waving her arms frantically. Stopping to help seemed like the right thing to do, so Daniel pulled over and approached her. The woman, visibly distressed, claimed her car had broken down and that her young daughter was still inside, shivering from the cold. Daniel offered to let them sit in his truck while they waited for help. But as he walked toward her car, he noticed something strange. The windows were completely frosted over from the inside. When Daniel reached the car, he saw it was empty. No child, no belongings, nothing to suggest anyone had been there recently. Confused, he turned back to question the woman, but she was gone. He scanned the area with his flashlight, calling out, but the only sound was the howling wind. Daniel quickly got back in his truck and locked the doors. As he drove away, he checked his mirrors repeatedly, half expecting to see the woman standing in the road. Later, he learned that several drivers had reported similar encounters, on that stretch of highway over the years. The woman, it seems, was not among the living. Our final story comes from rural Maine, where a small one-room schoolhouse became the setting for a chilling winter mystery. The year was 1952, and a sudden blizzard had trapped the teacher and her 6 students inside the school. With no way to contact anyone and supplies running low, they were forced to wait out the storm. At first, they managed to keep spirits high by telling stories and singing songs. But by the 3rd night, strange things began to happen. The teacher, Miss Harper, reported hearing whispers coming from the corner of the room, even though all the children were accounted for. One of the boys claimed to see shadows moving outside the window, but when they looked, there was nothing there. By the 5th night, the atmosphere had grown tense. One of the girls, Mary, began talking to someone who wasn't there. When Miss Harper asked who she was speaking to, Mary said it was a man in a hat standing by the door. No one else could see him. The storm finally cleared on the 6th day, and rescuers arrived to find all 7 of them alive but shaken. When Miss Harper described the strange occurrences, the locals shared a chilling tale. Decades earlier, the schoolhouse had been the site of a tragedy. A former teacher, driven mad by isolation, had taken his own life in the very room they were trapped in. Some believe his spirit lingers there, especially during the harshest winters. And there you have it. 3 disturbing true winter horror stories that remind us the cold season isn't always as peaceful as it seems. What do you think happened in these stories? Could there be logical explanations, or is something more sinister at play? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like, subscribe and share this video if you enjoyed these chilling tales. Until next time, stay safe and stay warm.